Welcome to Happy Death Day. Check this out. Roman Empire. Biggest superpower on Earth. Money everywhere. Armies everywhere. Roads everywhere. But the emperor just got taken out. Leadership is messy, and every dude with a sword thinks he's next in line. That's Rome in 193 AD. Historians call it the Year of the Five Emperors. I call it Rome. Everybody think they him. And out of all that chaos, one calm, calculated North African general steps forward and says, "Bet, I'll fix it." His name was Septimius Severus, and he didn't just become emperor, he changed the whole system. Severus wasn't born in Rome. No marble statues, no old money politics. He was born in Leptis Magna, North Africa, modern-day Libya. Trade city, money moving, cultures mixing. His family had status, but in Rome, still an outsider. Imagine walking into the most elite political circle in the world and everybody looking at you like, "Who invited, bro?" But Severus wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He was the quiet type, observing, learning, waiting. He studied law, politics, power. Then he made the smartest move possible. He built his career in the military. Because in Rome, votes were cute, but legions were real. By middle age, Severus commanded hardened Roman troops. Men who fought in deserts, forests, and snow. Men who respected leaders who kept them alive. That loyalty? That was his real weapon. Then Rome embarrassed itself. Emperor Commodus gets assassinated. Empire panics. People want stability. Instead, they get a dude named Didius Julianus who literally buys the throne. No joke. The Praetorian Guard, the emperor's bodyguards, killed the last emperor and auctioned the job to the highest bidder. That's like your security team putting the country on eBay. Severus hears this from the frontier and probably goes, "Oh, this empire down terrible." At the same time, two other generals declare themselves emperor. Now Rome has multiple bosses, but only one has disciplined legions and a reputation for competence. Severus. He doesn't write speeches. He doesn't negotiate. He tells his soldiers, "We marching to Rome." That's it. Word spreads. A real army is coming. The Praetorian Guard suddenly realizes they backed the wrong horse. They betray Julianus immediately. "Severus, listen. We didn't even mean it like that." Too late. Julianus gets executed. Severus walks into Rome backed by soldiers who actually fight wars. First move as emperor? He fires the entire Praetorian Guard, disbands them, replaces them with his own loyal troops. Message clear. You don't sell the empire and keep your job. But two rivals are still alive. First, Pescennius Niger in the east. Niger thinks he has support, thinks he can hold his ground. Severus pulls up with veteran legions and proves otherwise. Battle after battle, Niger loses ground. Eventually, he's captured and killed. Severus doesn't just win, he deletes the competition. One down, one left. The last rival is Clodius Albinus in Britain. Severus plays this smooth. He names Albinus Caesar, basically saying, "You my partner, my successor." Albinus relaxes, thinks they're allies. Meanwhile, Severus is building strength, locking in loyalty, stacking advantages. Then he flips the script. "Actually, my son's inheriting." Albinus realizes he's been played. Civil War Round 2 kicks off, one of the biggest battles ever fought between Romans. Tens of thousands dead. Albinus loses and takes his own life. Severus stands alone, no rivals, no debates. Just one emperor and an army that knows exactly who feeds them. Now Severus changes Rome forever. He looks at the chaos that came before him and learns one lesson. Emperors don't fall because enemies are strong. They fall because the people near them switch sides. So he chooses the army over everyone. He raises soldier pay, big raises, gives them land after service, lets them legally marry while enlisted. He tells the legions, "As long as I rule, y'all good." Their loyalty shifts from Rome as an idea to Severus the man. This is the turning point. Rome stops pretending it's still some shared political system. It becomes what it really is, a military empire run by whoever controls the troops. The Senate still talks, but nobody's confused about who really runs things. Severus also builds like crazy. Monuments, repairs, infrastructure. The Arch of Septimius Severus in Rome, that's a giant stone flex. Carved battle scenes basically saying, "I beat everybody and fixed your mess." He also pours money into his hometown in North Africa, turning it into a showpiece city. It's his way of saying, "You said I wasn't Roman enough? Cool, watch this." But while he's stabilizing an empire, his house is a disaster. He has two sons, Caracalla and Geta, and they hate each other. Constant tension, constant rivalry, constant ego. Severus tries the classic bad idea. He plans to make them co-emperors, two rulers, shared power. History already showed this never works. But Severus hopes blood will be stronger than ambition. It won't be. Even in old age, Severus doesn't slow down. In his 60s, instead of retiring, he invades northern Britain. Cold rain, endless mud, fog everywhere. Roman soldiers are like, "We run most of the world. Why we in this cursed swamp?" Severus believes strength must be shown constantly. Weakness invites rebellion. So he pushes on, even as his health declines. Eventually, sickness catches him in Britain, far from Rome, far from Africa. On his deathbed in 211 AD, he gives his sons advice that sounds more like survival code than fatherly wisdom. Be harmonious with each other, enrich the soldiers, and scorn all other men. Translation: trust the army, forget everybody else. Then he dies. So yeah, Septimius Severus. Dude walked into a collapsing empire, cleaned house, fired the security, crushed his enemies, and turned Rome into a military machine that ran on loyalty and fear. Not born in Rome, didn't grow up in the Senate, still ended up running the whole show. But after all the wars, all the victories, all the power, he didn't go out in some legendary last stand. He died sick, far from home, in cold, miserable Britain, on February 4th, 211 AD. No throne room, no cheering crowds, just a worn-out emperor and the same fate everybody else gets. Still, respect where it's due. He held Rome together when it was falling apart, even if he did it with swords, suspicion, and a payroll boost for the army. Happy Death Day, Septimius Severus. You ruled the world, but time still runs the block. Subscribe for tomorrow's Death Day. And remember, death is guaranteed. History is optional.